So, hello everyone. I'm out here at a place in Bremen called Waterfront, which obviously is like credits to the German for the really creative name because I'm in front of a... So yeah, I've been here almost exactly 2 years in Bremen. It's September 9th now, so next month on the 13th will be the 2-year mark. And I figured I've been off YouTube for a really long time, been busy, and I thought it might be fun to give a life update, maybe answer some questions, what it's like to move to Germany when you're 21 and live there for 2 years, which was not planned, and maybe share some funny stories. So yeah, I brought some water with me. Something about Germany is they have something called Mineralwasser, or mineral water, which is just essentially bubble water. And that's very, very common, probably more common than drinking normal water that doesn't have bubbles in it. And honestly, I didn't like it at first, but after being here for 2 years, I've grown to like it quite a bit. And yeah, I look really orange because there's a nightlight up there, like a street lamp, and it is very, very bright and orange. Oh yeah, and my phone's just here. I'm just recording audio because the camera's too far away. But yeah, I got some water and a microphone. Let's have some fun. I was deciding between this or some tea, but it was like that sugar-free tea with the artificial sweeteners in it. It didn't have aspartame in it. It had sucralose. So it's kind of like saying I don't have cancer, but I'm planning on it. So yeah, what has happened these past 2 years? I don't know. It's kind of really appropriate that there's all this water here in this time of reflection. Anyways, one big thing was a little over a year ago, last August, I broke my knee. I fell down doing sports and cracked my kneecap and ruptured my ACL. Not tore my ACL. Common misunderstanding. The doctor explained to me that I ruptured it, which means instead of tearing it part way, it was literally there was like nothing left of it. When they did the MRI and the X-ray scans, the only things that they found were like little bits of it, kind of like after an explosion. So I must have fallen pretty hard on the ground. You can see there's a boat over there. And so that was in August. And then at the end of October was when I finally had the surgery for it. And that was interesting. Not because of the surgery, but because my German wasn't very good back then. And so the doctor, after the surgery, tried to explain in English, but his English wasn't so good either. So we both kind of had a language issue, right? So the surgeon tried to explain in English how he did the surgery. And also because I was concerned, because when I woke up, the back of my leg was just completely black, and it hurt really bad. And I was like, it's okay if it hurts and everything. I just want to make sure, like, did anything go wrong in this surgery? And he was like, no, everything is fine. But of course, that's not how he said it. Because, like, the funny thing was his English was really not so good, just like my German, where he just had a few words and a really strong accent. And so he was like, so my last name's Ward. So he's like, Mr. Ward, see, what we did here today was... he kept making these really unnecessary analogies. So he was like, people, they build house, right? They build house, they drill holes in wall with big drill, right? And I was like, okay, yeah. He says, so I take this big drill and your leg is black there now because I take big drill. I drill a hole all the way through your leg on that side. And so I have big hole and I can see through your leg from side to side. And that way I can put your knee from 2 pieces back into 1 piece and all these kind of thing. And so that is what I heard from the doctor. Of course, I'm not doing a very good accent, but even being in all that pain and on all those meds, that just made the whole knee surgery experience amazingly better. Because for the rest of the day, I was just laughing to myself after that interaction. It was great. Almost tempted to break something else just to hear another doctor try to explain it. So, it is, September 9th, 2022. And I came to Germany October 13th, 2020. So what has happened? Well, at first, the way I got a visa, a legal visa and way to live here more than 3 months when I first got here, was I had an internship with Hochschule Bremen, which is it's like a university in Bremen. And so in their research department, I was writing code for some professors in one of their labs, where they're building some software for their wind tunnel, where they test airplane wings that they prototype. But that was only supposed to be 2 months, actually. But then, after that, they allowed me to continue the internship, so I got a second visa, or residence permit, whatever you want to call it. And then I did that a third time, and on the third time, they didn't have enough budget because they had hired some other new people, and so they asked me to work part-time, but that wasn't enough for a visa. So what I had to do was, they allowed me to sign up as a study abroad student. So then I took a few classes, computer science classes in English, but they only had 2 to choose from, so I just took both of them. And that was interesting because everyone, especially the professor, had a really strong accent, German accent. It was really hard to understand, even though he was speaking English. But it was still a really cool experience. I made a lot of friends. Sorry, it's getting so dark here. I hope it's not too dark and fuzzy. But the water looks amazing with the lights and the waves and everything. But yeah, you can see over there, there's wind turbines and some big factories. It looks kind of cool. Oh yeah, so after that, I took classes for a semester, and then I finished that internship, finished classes. So I needed a new visa after finishing classes and stopping the internship at Hochschule Bremen. So then I signed up for what's called a Vorbereitungsstudium, which means you're transferring, I needed 1 more semester of my bachelor's at UCF. So I did a transfer where I have to do a year of German language school, which means 20 hours a week of nonstop German classes, learning how to speak German, write German, all the things. Also, ich habe viel Deutsch gelernt und das war gut. Ich habe nur B2 gemacht, aber nicht B2 Prüfung bestanden, weil es war zu teuer zu das machen jetzt. Aber jetzt arbeite ich und ich möchte weitermachen und danach, wahrscheinlich in ein paar Monaten, kann ich mein C1-Prüfung bestehen. So I've learned quite a bit of German this past year. And then, so I was doing that every morning, around 4 hours a morning, 5 days a week. And then in the afternoons, I was working at my new internship, which has been awesome. I work at this place called In Music. Well, it's In Music Brands is the parent company. They make a lot of these brands that I'll show here, that you'll see at the music store, whether it's DJ equipment or guitar stuff or whatever, anything in between. And so I work for the brand called Air Music Technology. And so I work on a lot of DJ stuff for Engine OS, which has been quite fun. And my colleagues are really nice and work environment is awesome. So that's been a really, really nice opportunity. So I've been working there since Around the time I broke my knee. Like, it's been a little over a year. So yeah, I did that. I learned enough German now where I talk to anyone pretty comfortably. It's not like my grammar is good or I have very much vocabulary, but it's finally enough to where I speak comfortably with people, even if I don't understand them all the time. But I'm really good at saying wie bitte or was bedeutet das Wort auf Englisch? Like, so it's enough to get by for now. And I've been volunteering at the local church. That's been really fun. Been learning some mission work stuff from my grandma who works here as a missionary, which is why I came to Bremen specifically instead of another city in Germany. That's been really fun. I'm doing some Bible studies of my own with some people I know. Some in German, some in English, some in Denglish. I think the hardest part about learning German, so I learned French in high school for like 4 years and have since forgotten everything about French. But I have to say, in comparison, German has been way more difficult to learn because they have so many more words and they're much more specific. Like, one thing is, on my first day, a funny story is, on my first day of German class last year, the professor was like, okay, obviously he was speaking in German, but I'll just do it in English to make it easier to understand. So he was like, he wrote on the whiteboard, the, and he's like, in English we have the, and then in a few other languages, like there's a lot of Turkish students there. So he like wrote some words in Turkish too. And, and he was like, but in German, instead of having one word, we have der, die, or das. So like der means the for masculine things, die for feminine, and das for ones that are neither of those. So I guess neutral is what they call it. But then he explained there's many cases. So in some cases, instead of saying der, you say Dane. Or instead of Dane, you say dame, if it's like a direct object or an indirect object. Or sometimes, if it's possessive, then you say des, or dessen, or degen, or whatever. And so, for saying the, there's like so many options. And it depends on the context. So that was the first day of German class. And I've been in it for around a year now. You can imagine how difficult the language was to learn. And I'm definitely not good at German, but I'm doing all right. Like, I'm an average student. I'll show you some video clips and pictures that I've taken these past 2 years. Like, one funny thing is I have a video clip that my grandma took when I had just gotten out of surgery. They had put me on, they gave me anesthesia, they said, but then they said it wasn't enough, so they increased the dosage, but then it was a little bit too much or something. And so they said I got really loopy afterwards, and she got a short video of it, so I'll play that now.
What?
Tell me again.
Yeah, it was, the anesthesia didn't hurt at all.
Good.
But when I wake up, right now the room is moving around. But I feel pretty good. The knee hurts a lot right now. And my brain feels weird, where I feel like it's hard to
Think.
talk. Yeah. I try and speak Deutsch to nurses, but then they just think it's funny.
Yeah.
So I think that's good, because they have work to do. They need funny times to be happy.
I've been on the weekends and stuff. I've also been having fun with German friends and other friends like from the university and whatnot, playing music. I'll show some of that now.
Baby, can you be my friend? Can you be my lover up until the very end? Let me show you love for no pretend. Stick by my side even when the world is caving in. Oh, don't you worry, I'll be there whenever you want.
Wonderful.
And yeah, like, I guess that's my life update. I'm going to try to keep this video shorter. It's already gotten a bit long. But it's been interesting in Germany. Culture is so different. Feel free to comment on this video any questions you have about living in Germany, because I didn't answer that many questions in this video. I gave more of a life update. But it would be fun to answer your questions, because I remember having so many questions of my own. Like, what is it like to live over here? And what are a bunch of things like? But I feel like now that I've been here so long, I've forgotten all of those. And because I'm just kind of used to living here now. A lot of people have been asking if I'll move back to the States. And my answer is, I don't know. Like, I wasn't planning on moving here in the first place. It just kind of happened. It made sense at the time. And I'm starting to have visa problems right now with my new visa that's coming up soon. And they quite frankly said to me that it might not work out and I might get deported. But I guess it's a good reminder. We never know what's next. I hope I keep my job. I really enjoy my job. I've had a lot of fun here. There's been a lot of great things. It's been great to see my grandma. Made a lot of new friends too. It's been great. But will I stay here long term? I don't know. Will I move back to the States? I don't know. Just taking it one day at a time, right? It's kind of like that Bible verse. I really like it. I'll put it on the screen. I'm just having fun. One day at a time. I mean, not everything's fun. Like, I don't enjoy everything. Like waiting in line at the DMV. But just taking it one day at a time. I wanted to make this big fancy video, kind of like I did last time, showing the city, showing some other German cities maybe, or cool pictures or hyperlapses, but I'm sure I'll do that. I have a bunch of them on my hard drive that I've done for my next video project, but I'm not really putting them in here because I just thought it might be fun to have more like a, peaceful water splashing in the background. It's nice and quiet out here. All I can hear is the water crashing on the rocks really gently. And just tell some funny stories. Enjoy the view, like the water and the lights. It looks really cool. Yeah. So I hope you enjoy. Hope this wasn't too long-winded, but I mean, I'm long-winded with everything. So long story short, I always tell long stories. I didn't make a super fancy video, but I did put effort into it. It took me like 20 minutes to get myself in focus because I'm alone right now. I didn't think to bring a friend with me to help me focus the camera manually. So I found like different colored rocks and I'd figure out which rock to stand on and then like guessing multiple times like how far or close from the camera to focus the lens. I mean, I got dressed up. I wore a collared shirt. Wow. Put on my nice boots, which you can't even see. My nice German boots that I bought last year. I even put on deodorant. Wait, I just finished my water. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was nice and peaceful and relaxing. And enjoyed the view a little bit, even though it's quite dark. And I don't have that nice of a camera, so it's probably hard to see. Have a good night, you guys. And don't forget to comment any questions you have. I'll try to answer them in the next video. And yeah, see you around. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching.